Wyoming is now following Arizona's lead in taking legal action on Biden's sweeping vaccine mandate that covers some 100 million Americans. Wyoming's governor, Republican governor, I should note, Mark Gordon, saying in a statement, quote, "We cannot sit on our hands just watching this egregious example of federal government overreach." And Arizona Attorney General Mark Brnovich ripping the president's mandate when he spoke to Us on America Reports yesterday. Our panel, Matt Gorman, former communications director for the House GOP's campaign arm, joins us now. Leslie Marshall is here, radio show host and Fox News contributor. I don't know, I'll just start off by asking you first, where do you stand on these mandates, Matt? I mean, is this government overreach, and is it bordering unconstitutional?
It clearly is both of those things, and even worse, it's Biden playing politics. His numbers are sagging, as you mentioned in that earlier report, especially with COVID, and he needs a foil. And he's done this over and over. He just did it a few weeks ago with Governors DeSantis and Abbott over masks. And look, government lawyers aren't stupid. They knew they were going to get sued, and they knew this would likely be halted, at least temporarily, via an injunction. But that's not the point. The point is to give Biden a foil, an enemy, to play politics with.
You know, and a lot of the small businesses are, Leslie, they remain very challenged in all of this as well, abiding by so many restrictions. On top of that, vaccine mandates. Senator Marshall, Roger Marshall, is saying not only is the mandate a highly inappropriate invasion of personal decision for residents, but it threatens to worsen the current labor shortage. He says this directive will impact tens of millions of Americans, and he says it warrants review. Do you agree?
No, and I'm not related to him, by the way, with the Marshall there. In 1905, in my home state of Massachusetts, the Supreme Court made clear and set a precedent for what the Constitution allows the federal government to do or not to do. At the time, that was smallpox. Now it's COVID. And technically, unless you are discriminating against a certain specific group or demographic, like all white women have to have this vaccine, it is constitutional because, quite frankly, the Constitution doesn't allow somebody who doesn't want to be vaccinated to potentially infect the rest of the citizens in the United States. So, one, I would disagree about Constitution. Second, I would disagree about all this, this is about politics. If this were about politics and having a mandate's going to bring President Biden's numbers down, why would he do that? It wouldn't benefit him politically. And then lastly, if you want to look at numbers, let's look at numbers of governors in red states who are on the opposite side of the opinion of this mandate, such as in Florida, Ron DeSantis, or in Texas, Governor Abbott. Both of them, their approval ratings have dropped equal or more than President Biden on the handling of COVID. So I don't think it's just President Biden that's getting blamed for this.
Yeah, no, let's dig into that, the political implications of that, Matt. But first, this is President Obama's transportation chief calling on President Biden to mandate vaccines for air travel. Ray LaHood's telling Politico, quote, "I don't see it as a bureaucratic challenge to the airlines. I really don't. You got to show ID in order to get through TSA, then make it a part of getting through TSA that you can't get through TSA unless you show proper identification, your ticket, and a vaccination card." Gee, as if everything is so running smoothly for the TSA at the airports. I mean, it is always a process. Now they want to add more. Matt, would that work?
Yeah, airlines have enough trouble trying to get passengers, and they're going to want to add this on top of it. It just makes no sense. And look, if we want to talk numbers, let's talk numbers. That same Quinnipiac poll that you showed in the opening, 51% of Americans oppose Biden's vaccine mandate, and a similar number believe it's an encroachment on individual freedoms and believe it goes too far. So I think you're going to hear this more as we go into the 2022 midterms, where Republicans will make the argument, I think effectively, that Biden has done absolutely nothing on inflation and rising prices of everyday goods, but what he has taken action on is an unpopular and unconstitutional mandate that's going to hurt our labor market.
All right, real quick, last word to you, Leslie. Do you worry that while it has been popular, people want to get this pandemic behind us, get vaccinated, wear the mask, do what it takes to put this virus behind us, that will change come 2022 when people are really over this and they want to move on, that could hurt your party's chances?
No, and I would certainly hope, because, you know, most of the people in my party don't look at this as political. We look at this as a health issue, that, you know, COVID doesn't care if you're a Democrat or Republican. It, you know, can attack you regardless. Look, in California, in Orange County, last night I was talking to a doctor friend, no joke, and he said, look, I can't stand Gavin Newsom, but I had to vote no on the recall because as a physician, I'm in favor of the mandates. And we saw that happen here in California, and I think we're going to see that happen in some states. Am I saying that Democrats are going to keep their majority and they're going to sweep it in 2022? Not necessarily. And as you know, Sandra, things can change in 24 hours.
We'll have to continue this conversation because Matt's eager to jump back in, but we've got to leave it there. Thanks to both of you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Sandra.
Thank you.